change the stream key. Alright. Change the stream key. Okay. Now we're just gonna do a quick review of lesson 7, and then I think I'll do lesson 8, lesson 9, and then later today 10, 11. That's the plan. That's the plan. In this lesson you learn how to say this, that, and it. This equal no e that tall. No. This and that for use in modifiers. You say this is my car equal my top. This car is mine. So the word of this here can be used as a pronoun and also as a word of all masculine. Ignorant, however, words of
Đi công chúng mày, không phải cặp hơi liền mà. Nghe video của các bố đi.
however, words for this as a modifier and this as in this item here or this item here are strictly distinguished. The same is true for that as well. So this is like this, the word is separate from this thing, that specific thing. So this eagle or eagle 물이에요. This is water. 이 물이에요. 이물, no. 이물, 물. This water here, this water I have right here, this water, not this is water, this water, right? E. Wait, what? E, yeah, E is this, equal this one, right? This person, E. Alright, lesson 8. You learn how to say something that's not something. Now let's review. Do you remember how to say this, that, and the/it increment? This, E, that is 저, the, it is 그. Yeah, they mix up the order for some reason. Why do you do that? E, this near you, 이거, or 이거, this thing, this item, this stuff, this fact. 그, the, that, near the other person. 그거, the thing, the item, that one, it. 저, that over there. 저거, that thing over there. Okay, so 거 is thing, literally just thing, item, something, stuff. So 이거. So let me go back. 이거. I think 이거 뭐예요? This. So this. Okay. This. 이거. Okay. Oh yeah. 이거 is this, or 거 is this. No, E is this. Okay, so 이모다요. Wait, 이모. No, I don't think we have the yayo. So 이모. So this water. No, this what? Wait, hold on. It is wrong. Hold on. Okay, for this is a question. So this is. What is it? But this points to a specific this. This makes it so it's this, I think. 이거 뭐예요? 요. Yeah, is it, but this part makes it this. Where was I? Okay, 사람, 이 사람, 그 사람, 저 사람. 아니에요. To be not, it is not, you are not. 아니에요, 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 아니요, 아니에요 is the present tense in the formal language of the verb 아니다, 아니다. To be not. So 아니에요 means it's not, I am not, you're not, he, she is not, etc. Whenever you want to say something is not, you say a subject and 아니에요. Noun, 아니에요, equals to be not, noun. 저 아니에요, it's not me. 우유 아니에요, it's not milk. 물 아니에요, it's not water. You want to say, this is not milk. This is not milk. This, hold on, I'm covering it with my hand. You'll be able to see, but I won't. I'm covering it with my hand. I'm trying to figure this out. So up here, it's not milk. 우유 아니에요. This is not milk. 이거 우유 아니에요. Ah, frick. Wait. There we go. We did it. This is not milk. Okay. 이거. I did it right. I am a student. I am 저. It's not a park. Yeah. Park. It. That's not a park. That is. 그거. Wait. Huh? Oh, okay. This, that, the has the call at the end. Okay. 우유 아니요. 이거 우유 아니요. 학생 아니에요. 저 학생 아니에요. 술 아니에요. 저거 술 아니에요. 고양이 not a cat. 고양이 아니에요. 그거 고양이 아니에요. Alright, do I understand this, that, the, it. Okay, I'm gonna have to get used to that. Alright, lesson 9. In this lesson you're going to, oh wait.
You're listening to Talk to Me in Korean.
Sorry for being late. I'm here.
Okay.
You look so disappointed.
Yeah, I'm really, really disappointed.
Come on. Well, I can just sit here and watch as you
Oh.
explain everything. Would you rather do that? Or
Okay.
I'll help you.
Alright.
Let me help you.
No.
Come on, don't you hear the voices of our listeners?
Okay.
They want me to be a part of the show.
Okay, alright.
Or
Please
I
don't,
hope.
don't hit me. Okay?
Don't worry, I won't. I'm not even close to you.
Alright.
So everyone, welcome back to talktomeinkorean.com.
네, 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요, 경은.
안녕하세요, 현우씨.
Hi. So in this lesson, we are going to do a little review and also learn how to say something is not something. This is the first lesson where we talk about negative sentences.
Yeah.
It should be
right.
good. Very good.
We need to learn about negative things too.
Right. Well, yeah, that's a good point about life.
Yeah.
So remember how to say this, that, and it or the in Korean?
Of course.
I mean, not you, but our listeners.
Okay.
Or do you remember?
I remember.
Okay, let me test you, okay?
Okay.
So, Kyungwon, how do you say as a modifier this in Korean?
이,
E.
이,
How about this object, this thing?
이거 or 이것.
Okay, and how about that or the, which means far away from you but closer to the other person?
Let me think. Is it 그?
그.
그.
You even have to think. And how do you say that thing, the thing?
그거 or 그것.
Okay, or how about something that is far away from both of the speakers?
저 as a modifier and 저거 or 저것.
As a pronoun.
Yes.
Okay, so how would you say this
Okay.
person?
이 사람,
And that person over there walking by?
저 사람,
저 사람 over there.
저
저 사람.
사람.
Okay, you don't really say 이 사람 because it's too short a distance, right? Okay, that's enough for the review. And in this lesson, like we said earlier, we're going to learn how to say something is not something. And the very expression that you can use for saying that is, what is it?
It's 아니에요.
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 아니에요. Kyungwon, are you mad at me?
아니에요.
Oh, so you're not mad at me.
No.
Okay, good. So 아니에요 is the present tense form in the formal language of the verb 아니다. So it means it's not, you're not, I am not, he's not, they're not, everything.
Yes, right. 아니다. 아니다.
That is the dictionary form of the verb, and as you will notice later on, all the Korean verbs end in ta in the dictionaries.
네, 맞아요.
So you look up a word and it ends in ta, that's a verb mostly.
네, 맞아요.
And you can conjugate the verb accordingly and use it in your sentences. But for now, don't worry about that at all. So
No.
what is it again?
아니에요.
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 So if you say a noun plus 아니에요, you can say it's not the noun. So for example, how do you say me in Korean?
저,
저.
저.
So how do you say it's not me?
저 아니에요.
So your mother sees a broken flower pot and looks at you and you say it's not me.
It's not me. 저 아니에요.
저 아니에요.
저 아니에요.
And Kyungwon, you're walking down the street and a lot of people think you are a celebrity. And
Oh, really?
you wish that would happen, right?
Yeah, right.
And you want to say happily, oh,
Oh.
it's not me.
저 아니에요. 아, 저 아니에요.
And how do you say milk in Korean?
우유,
우유.
우유,
우유.
우유.
So how do you say it's not milk?
우유 아니에요.
우유 아니에요.
우유 아니에요.
How do you say water?
물,
물.
물.
So how do you say it's not water?
물 아니에요.
물 아니에요.
물 아니에요.
And some of our listeners commented on the site that the word 물 or mi, these words that begin with the sound m, as in the English m, sound like they start with the b sound. So we would like to talk a little bit about that. So Kyungwon, say 물 again, say water again.
물,
물.
물.
And I would like to explain the reason that it sounds like bul rather than mul by saying that in Korean, when people say something like m, they don't necessarily go saying m, m. When Korean, when you make the sound of M, the English M, the mouth is kind of closed and the sound is made quite abruptly. So try it, everyone. Close your mouth. Did you close your mouth, Kevin?
Yeah, I did it.
How can you say yes, I
Oh,
did it
okay.
with your mouth closed?
Alright.
Okay.
Don't talk to me.
Okay. And say ma
Ma,
very quickly.
ma,
Ma.
ma.
So saying ma, ma. When you L by say 물 sound like they start with a B sound, you know.
물 아니에요.
And some of our listeners commented on the site that the word 물 or me, these words that begin with the sound m, as in the English M, sound like they start with a B sound. So we would like to talk a little bit about that. So come on, say 물 again, say water again.
물,
물.
물.
And I would like to explain the reason that it sounds like B-U-L rather than M-U-L by saying that in Korean, when people say something like m, they don't necessarily go saying m, m. In Korean, when you make the sound of M, the English M, the mouth is kind of closed and the sound is made quite abruptly. So try it, everyone. Close your mouth. Did you close your mouth, Kevin?
Yeah, I did it.
How can you say yes, I
Oh,
did it
okay.
with your mouth closed?
Alright.
Okay.
Don't talk to me.
Okay.
Me.
And say ma
Ma.
very
Ma.
quickly.
Ma.
Ma.
Ma. Ma.
So
Ma.
that's why
Mul.
in
Mul.
Korean
Mul.
people tend to say the M
Mul.
sound
Mul.
more abruptly, more
Mul.
quickly, more suddenly,
Mul.
so
Mul.
that
Mul.
makes the
Mul.
sound
Mul.
that's similar to
Mul.
B.
Mul.
So when you
Mul.
watch Korean music
Mul.
videos, the subtitles say 미안해, but it can sound like 미안해.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it happens a lot. It sounds like 미안해 to me too.
Oh, really?
So
I've never thought about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And, I mean, just after I saw the comment, and then I was really surprised.
really,
Yeah,
Ah.
because I always think it's easy to tell. So
sometimes it isn't that easy to tell. So back to the main topic, Kyungwon. What is water?
물,
물.
물,
So how do you say it's not water?
물 아니에요.
It's soju.
물
It's not water.
아니에요.
물 아니에요.
아니에요.
소주예요. Okay.
물 아니에요.
Or
But it
vodka.
was 물 actually.
In
It was
the
물 in my pocket.
other lesson.
Yes.
Well, who knows?
Oh,
You might have just switched it.
no way.
Okay, that's all good, but there are also times when you have to say specifically that this is not water, that is not my friend, or it is not a cat, or I am not a student.
And that's quite simple too. You can just add a word at the beginning of the sentence.
Exactly. We're gonna learn how to use subject marking particles, topic marking particles in the next lesson. But for now, don't worry about that. And actually, in most cases, Korean people also drop those particles all the time. So you just have to add the subject of the sentence at the very beginning of the sentence and just say, for example, how do you say this in Korean?
이거
And milk?
우유
It's not.
아니에요.
How do you say this is not milk?
이거 우유 아니에요.
You're literally saying this milk not. So how do you say it again?
이거 우유 아니에요.
Great. Then how do you say student?
학생,
학생.
학생,
학생.
학생,
학생.
학생.
And how do you say not a student?
학생 아니에요.
Literally a student not. So 학생 아니에요.
학생 아니에요.
How do you say I am not a student?
저 학생 아니에요.
So everyone, if you're not a student, please make sure you visit talktomeinkorean.com and practice saying, even in romanization, that's fine. 저 학생 아니에요. It's a perfect opportunity to use what you learn. Okay, and I am not a 학생 either, so I can say 저 학생 아니에요.
저 학생 아니에요.
Okay, come on.
But everyone will know you're
저
not a
학생이에요.
student, right?
I wonder what you mean by that. And no, let's look at some other examples. How do you say it in Korean?
그거
And how do you say cat?
고양이,
고양이.
고양이,
고양이.
고양이,
How do you say not a cat?
고양이 아니에요.
고양이 아니에요.
고양이 아니에요.
So how do you say it is not a cat?
그거 고양이 아니에요.
Yeah, that's a tiger, not a cat.
Uh,
그거 고양이 아니에요. 호랑이에요.
really?
Well, I just wanted to add the word 호랑이 to our lessons because it's, after all, the year of the tiger.
Yeah, right.
호랑이의 해.
호랑이의 해.
Yeah, that's what we called it, the year of the tiger. So, what's the word for tiger again?
호랑이.
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 그거 호랑이 아니에요.
And that means it's not a tiger, okay?
네.
So in this lesson, what did we learn?
We learned about 아니에요.
Okay, exactly. And there's another situation where you can use this expression 아니에요 very conveniently.
And what is that?
When someone says to you, thank you,
Ah, okay. I
can
can
say,
say 아니에요.
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 Well, a lot of textbooks, dictionaries, a lot of lessons will tell you that it is 천만에요 that you have to use to say you're welcome. But in real life, the expression that is more commonly used is
아니에요.
So 경은, say thank you to me.
Thank you.
No, in Korean, please.
아, okay. Sorry. 감사합니다.
아니에요.
현우 씨 감사합니다.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
But normally I would say to other people 아니에요, 아니에요.
But normally Hyun said just yes, okay, whatever.
Come on.
Right.
You're setting me up. So everyone, thank you for listening one more time, and please continue studying Korean and keep practicing with us by leaving us comments and asking questions on our site talktomeinkorean.com.
Come to talktomeinkorean.com.
And as you know, we have recently started including our PDFs in our podcast feed, so we hope that'll be more convenient for you.
Then we will see you next time. Bye bye.
안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 가세요.
You're listening to Talk to Me.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
Hey.
안녕하세요. Okay. Lesson 9. Lesson 9. In this lesson, you are going to learn about the topic marking particles. 얘는 that's terrible handwriting. 저는 I will not be able to work in Korean. 이에요. Tomorrow. So as for tomorrow, I work. So does it go first? So we are talking about tomorrow. Talking about tomorrow. So if it was just 저는 일해요, I work. I work tomorrow. 저는 일해요. No. So 내는 저는 일해요. You know, it'd be great if there was an undo button with this. 이가 subject marking particles marking particles E and K. We see these again, right? These are back. E and K, the role of marking particles is relatively simple compared to the role of talking marking particles. Okay, these are subject. What you're talking about? Alright, subject. Subject. Words ending with a last consonant E. Words ending with a vowel Ka. Ka. Ga. Ka. 가방이 학교가. Topic. So basically, topic marking particles in express the topic of the sentence, and subject marking particles 이가 show what the subject of the sentence is, but that's not everything. So 저는 I can't wait until we actually work out problems. What more is there about particles? And then in addition to marking topics, and then has the nuance of about something, as for something, or even unlike other things, or different from other things. In addition to marking subjects, ika has the nuance of none other than, nothing but, and also when used inside a complex sentence, the role of marking the subject without emphasizing too much. Here, let's look at some examples of one. 근데 이거 사과예요. 이거 사과예요. This is an apple. You can add 는 to this in case make a subject. 이거는 사과예요. The other things are not apples, but this is an apple. 우리 물이에요. 여기는 물이에요. 물 or 물이에요. 물이에요. 여기 물이에요. 우유 물 아니에요. 우유 이거는 물이에요. 우유 아니에요. 이거 우유 아니에요. 이거 물이에요. 이거는 물이에요. 이거는 물이에요. Wait, what? You can imagine this. 이거 커피예요. This is coffee. 이거는 물이에요. That was coffee. But this is one. 이거는 오렌지 주스예요. This is again. 이거는 뭐예요? 이거는 뭐예요? 이거는 this. Okay, so it marks the topic. So that means I can switch it around. As you can see for this example, whoa. PG friendly. As you can see from this example, 는 has the role of emphasizing the topic of the sentence by giving it the nuance of that one is and but this one is. So sometimes it is unnatural to use nin in every sentence you say. So in Korean, although in and nin are generally people often say in and nin, really emphasizing the topic, contrast, and other parts of the sentence. For example, if you want to say the weather is nice today in Korean, you can say it in many ways. Don't worry about the entire sentence here, just focus on the use of in and in. The weather's good today. 오늘 날씨 좋네요. 오늘 날씨 좋네요. 좋네요. 오늘 날씨 좋네요. Today's good today. The weather is good today. 오늘은 날씨 좋네요. The weather hasn't been good lately, but today is good. Today is good. Okay, so 는 emphasizing the topic, which is today. The weather is good. 오늘 날씨 좋네요. 오늘 날씨 좋네요. Okay. Just for the record, I am reading the Hangul. I'm not looking at the romanization. I'm just trying to practice reading. Okay, so that's why I'm reading kind of slow, right? Just for the record, for the VOD watchers. All right. Today, 오늘 날씨는 좋네요. 오늘 날씨는 좋네요. Today, not necessarily everything else too, but at least the weather is good. Huh? So, emphasizing today. Today, and then I'm guessing this is weather. 날씨는 오늘 날씨 좋네요. 오늘 날씨 좋네요. That's wrong.
It's me at 6 o'clock.
오늘 날씨
What's 6?
오늘 날씨 좋네요.
It's cold today.
That's wrong. It's not fair. 오늘 날씨 좋네요.
Today's weather.
Oh my god. Okay, 저. 좋아요, 예.
The weather is nice today.
오늘 날씨 좋네요.
좋네요.
오늘 날씨 좋네요.
The weather is nice, isn't it?
The weather is nice today.
오늘은 날씨 좋네요.
The weather is nice today. 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 The weather is nice today.
Oh my god.
The weather is nice today.
오늘 날씨음 좋네요.
는
오늘 날씨는 좋네요.
Today's weather is weather.
날씨.
That's no powerful and useful topic. Marking particles in the new can be in changing the nuance of your information. Oh, that's some too. Subject. 좋아요. 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 It's good. 뭐? What? Subject. Marking particles. Imagine one says 좋아요. 좋아요. That means it's good or I like it. But what if you're not saying what is good? What is good? What is good? Okay. 좋아요. 좋아요. It's good. 뭐 좋아? 뭐 사요? 뭐요? 좋아요? 뭐가 좋아요? What? 뭐? What is good? Emphasize the subject. ABC 좋아요. And if you disagree, you think X, Y, Z is good, not ABC, you can express your opinion. So it could be good, should be X, Y, Z, ABC by saying ABC 좋아요. ABC 좋아요. X, Y, Z가 좋아요. 뭐 좋아요? 뭐 좋아요? 소가 좋아요. 우유 좋아요? 우유 좋아요. 우유 좋아요? 우유 좋아요? 소주가 좋아요. So with E and Ka, you add more flavor, more concrete meanings to your current sentences. We want to emphasize who did something. Who.
xíu nhẹ hơn nữa. Đủ gas.
So with E and Ka, you can add more flavor and more concrete meanings to your current sentences. But who do you want to emphasize? Is that everything? Almost. Double digits. Is that everything? Almost. As you can see below, Nun and Inga both have different roles, but the roles of Nun as a contrast factor is much stronger because you can change the topic of sentence with Nun. So when you form complex sentences, I think the book that you bought is more interesting than the book I bought. In general, Nun is not so commonly used over the sentences. Oftentimes, Nun can be dropped, but when you need particles to clarify the meaning, will be more commonly used. Okay, so I really have to practice like saying things, writing things, making up sentences, right? In order to use all of these that I've learned so far. It's like especially making sentences. I'm sure are more useful, right? Like with the EAO, yayo, that's more of just like pointing out like a subject, right? Wait, well, you know, like this is milk, 물이에요. 우유예요. 우유예요. This is milk. 이거 우유예요. This is milk. 커피 아니에요. 우유예요. Wait. 우유예요. Wait, okay, so that is coffee. This is milk. 그거 커피예요. 이거 커피예요. 이거는 우유예요. 커피 아니에요. 커피 아니에요. 우유예요. That is coffee. This is milk. This is not coffee. This is milk. Got that? Alright. I think that's it. I think I'll stop right here for, well, lesson 9 is done, so we're gonna listen, but then after lesson 10 will be the next stream. Alright, so I'll do 2 streams today to make up for yesterday for no stream. Alright, so lesson 9, we're done. Let's go.
Hey everyone, Hyunwoo-san here.
안녕하세요. This is 경은.
Hey Kyungwon,
Hey,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very, very good. And actually, I'm very excited today.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
because our listeners are listening to us. So everybody, you're listening to Talk to Me in Korean.
Talk to me in Korean.
You can talk to us in Korean, and you can talk to your friends, your Korean friends in Korean, and your non-Korean friends in Korean after studying with us, or as you are listening to these lessons. So Kyunghan, I am very excited for actually one more reason.
What is that?
Well, because we're going to talk about something a lot of our listeners have asked us to explain in our lesson, and something very, very important. I think has confused a lot of people for a long time.
Yeah,
So
right.
we're going to finally try to solve the problem.
Yeah, right. And it's really, really important.
Yeah, very important. Okay, so before we say any more that it is important, come on, let's tell our listeners what we are going to talk about. What are we going to talk about in this lesson?
Okay, we are going to talk about the topic marking particles and the subject marking particles.
Great. 좋아요.
Yeah, sounds a
Perfect.
little bit difficult, right?
No, not to me.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Alright.
We're going to do our best to explain these in the easiest way possible. So if you have any questions after listening to this lesson, please feel free to ask us questions in the comment section of this lesson, or while you are listening to this lesson, you can just type away right now.
Okay. Come to talktomeinkorean.com and leave a comment.
So, okay, let's get right into it. So, topic marking particles and subject marking particles.
the hell?
Come on. When you think of something that you wanna, I don't know, eat, what comes to your mind first?
Oh.
Other than soju and some anju, side
I-
dishes for liquor.
I don't like soju.
Okay, so what comes to your mind first?
Anything? Samgyeopsal?
Samgyeopsal. Okay.
Samgyeop-
Good. So you think of
Sam.
samgyeopsal,
Okay.
it's kind of made into a picture inside your head. It's floating around in your head.
Okay.
And when you say the name of that
Yes.
food in English, what do you say?
Oh.
Samgyeopsal, right?
Samgyeopsal.
Well,
it's samgyeopsal.
Yeah, literally translated it is 3-layered pork. But samgyeopsal is just samgyeopsal.
Yeah, it's just samgyeopsal.
But when you say that in Korean, you say samgyeopsal, and don't you kind of feel the need to add a particle after that? Samgyeopsal something? You're Korean.
Yes, I'm Korean.
Korean is your mother tongue.
Of course.
So I'm sure you feel the need to
Yeah,
complete that part.
Yeah, right. If I wanna say like I really want to eat samgyeopsal, and then if I wanna speak Korean, I really wanna put a particle.
After the word, right?
Yeah, right.
Samgyeopsal, something.
Yes, right.
Well, there are many different types of particles in Korean. For example, topic marking particle, subject marking particle, or object marking particle, or location marking particle, blah blah blah. So in Korean, if you want to say, for example, samgyeopsal, I want to eat, you need that particle there. And if you want to say samgyeopsal is delicious, you need some
Yeah,
particles
right.
there.
So bullshit.
So that's what we're gonna learn today.
They all
Okay.
fucking suck.
So let's forget about samgyeopsal for maybe 10 minutes, okay?
Oh, okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I tried to do that.
Okay. So, if a noun, something that you want to talk about, is the topic of the sentence, you use topic marking particles. And if a noun that you want to talk about, a word that you want to talk about, is a subject of the sentence, you use subject marking particles.
Oh, sounds very simple.
Sounds very simple.
Easy.
But when it comes to really using them, it's quite confusing.
Okay.
So, for example, let's say I want to say, this is a camera. How would I say this in Korean?
이거
이거.
And what is camera in Korean?
Camera.
카메라.
And what
Camera.
is?
In this case, you can say 예유.
So, 이거 카메라 예요.
이거 카메라
카메라.
예유.
So, as
이거
is,
카메라예요.
makes perfect sense.
Yes.
But if you want to follow the principal rules of making Korean sentences, that sentence is not complete because it is lacking a
이거는
particle after the
이거는
이거. So in Korean, in principle, you have to add a particle, but you just drop it because it is very obvious. It's self-explanatory. So if we look at the
이거는
main role of topic marking particles, Kyungwon, what does the topic marking particle do?
Topic marking particles let the other people know what you are talking about or going to talk about.
Exactly. So Kyungwon, what are those
이거는
topic marking particles?
There are two.
Okay.
So 은,
Or
는,
은 or 는.
은, 는.
So and nun are the same thing.
So
Yes.
You
this
just have to
is
choose
a
either one
camera.
of them, depending on the word that comes before
이거는
it. So in nun, so if the noun
카메라예요.
ends with the last consonant, you just add un, or if the noun ends with a vowel, you add nun to make the pronunciation easier.
Why don't you look at an example?
Okay, good. So Kyungwon, how do you say this book in Korean?
이 책,
이 책, this book.
이 책.
So 책 ends with the last consonant, so you can't really, you can, of course, but it's difficult to say 책은.
Yeah.
So you say 책은,
책은,
이 책은.
이 책은.
And for example, this car, how do you say this car in Korean?
이 차,
이 차.
이 차.
And of course you can say 이 차은, but it kind of blurs the pronunciation. So 이 차는, you just add that little marking point there. 이 차는.
이 차는,
So 이 차는,
이 차는,
이 책은.
이 책은.
So everyone, even if I say 이 책, Kyungwon won't know what about the book I'm going to talk about. For example, am I going to say that this book is blah blah blah? Am I going to use it as a subject of the sentence? Or am I going to use it as the object of the sentence? So what am I going to do with the noun? Kyungwon doesn't know, you don't know, nobody will know. So
No. I can't even guess.
so exactly. So that's why Korean people came up with this device called topic marking particles and subject marking particles. So even if you don't finish your Korean sentence, people will know what your intentions are with that noun.
That's a very good way to explain.
감사합니다. So Kyungwon, I think that's it.
Really? No.
Just kidding. Well, so let's compare these two, okay? I want to play with this word 이책 since I love books, okay?
Okay. You love books?
Yeah, you don't sound very convinced, but I love books.
Okay.
So let's talk about books, and I have a book right here. So this book in Korean,
이 책,
이책. So if I want to imply that this book 이책 is what I'm going to talk about, but this is going to be the topic of my sentence, what do I say?
이 책은,
이책은.
이 책은.
So Kyungwon, if I say 이책은, I'm implying to the other person who's listening to me that I'm going to talk about 이책 as the topic of my sentence, my conversation, my whatever. And I can use subject marking particles too after 이책, and in that case, I'll be implying that 이책 is going to be the subject of the sentence. So what are the subject marking particles in Korean?
I really wanted to talk about it during your explanation.
You wanted to talk about the subject marking particles?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are also two of them. 이 and 가.
이, 가.
이, 가.
The rules behind the differentiation between 이 and 가 are the same. If a word ends with the last consonant, you add 이, and if the word ends with a vowel, you add 가. So let's go back to this book, okay? So how do I say this book in Korean?
이 책.
이 책. So if I want to say 이 책 something something and it's the topic of the sentence, what would I say?
이 책은.
And if I want to say 이 책 something something and it is the subject of the sentence, what would I say?
You can say 이 책이.
이 책은 or 이 책이. But everyone, let's think about it together. Do these sentences have any difference at all to you right now? Right now, there is much difference between 이 책은 and 이 책이. And that's why a lot of Korean people actually drop the topic marking particle or the subject marking particle.
I drop them all the time.
Me too. So we have talked about what the topic marking particles
은, 는,
and the subject marking particles
이, 가.
do respectively, but they are often dropped. So to recap, basically topic marking particles
은 and 는.
express what the topic of the sentence is, and subject marking particles
이 and 가.
show what the subject of the sentence is. But that's not everything.
No.
I wish it was, but it's not everything, and this is where it gets really, really interesting. And the reason that I said it is interesting is because there are some additional roles to these topic marking particles and subject marking particles.
네, 맞아요.
Kyungwon,
네.
so what kind of extra role do these topic marking particles 은 and 는 have?
So in addition to marking topics, 은 and 는 have the nuance of about something, as for something, or even unlike other things or different from other things.
How do I say this is an apple?
In Korean,
No, in French. in Chinese.
Sorry, I can speak Chinese and French, so can I
Okay.
say Korean?
Sure, please. Okay.
이거 사과예요.
이거 사과예요.
이거 사과예요.
So if I want to add the meaning of, well, as for this one, unlike
이거는 사과예요.
other things, different from other things. I don't know about the other things that are there, but this one is an apple. What do I say?
이거는 사과예요.
이거는 사과예요.
이거는 사과예요.
The other things are not apples. They might not be apples, and I don't care about them. But this one is an apple.
Yes. So you're emphasizing the topic.
Exactly. So come on, let's look at one more example. And how do you say today?
오늘, 오늘,
And how about the weather?
날씨, 날씨.
How do I say the weather today or today's weather is good?
오늘 날씨 좋네요.
Everyone, don't worry about the sentence or the vocabulary words that are presented here, but just look at how we can use the extra function, extra role of the topic marking particles 은 and 는. Let's say I want to say the weather hasn't been so good lately, but today the weather is good. What do I do in order to emphasize today the weather is good?
Okay. Simple. You just add the topic marking particle after today.
And what is today?
오늘.
So what do I say? The original sentence was 오늘 날씨 좋네요.
So if you want to emphasize today, you can say 오늘은 날씨 좋네요.
So I add 은 after 오늘
네.
because
That's for
오늘은
an
is the last consonant. So 오늘은 날씨 좋네요.
오늘은 날씨 좋네요.
So Kyungwon, what if I didn't have the intention of emphasizing 오늘 today? I just said 오늘은 날씨 좋네요. Will you think that I'm emphasizing today by using this sentence?
Yeah, I think I will.
I would too, and actually when a lot of Korean learners learn to form sentences in Korean and they write sentences like 오늘은 날씨 좋아요, 오늘은 날씨 좋네요, by using these topic marking particles too much, they might make Korean people misunderstand what they originally meant to say with that sentence. For example, if you say or write 오늘은 날씨 좋네요 without intending to refer to the weather of the other days, Korean people might think that the weather wasn't so good the other days. So again, to review, what do I say if I want to say the weather hasn't been so good lately, but today the weather is good?
오늘은 날씨 좋네요. 오늘은 날씨 좋네요.
오늘은 날씨 좋네요.
오늘은 날씨 좋네요.
And what if I want to emphasize the weather instead of today, 날씨 instead of 오늘, and if I want to emphasize that the topic, the center of my sentence is not today but the weather, what do I say? In English, it would be something like today, not necessarily everything else too, but at least the weather is good.
It's also simple. You can just put the topic marking particle after 날씨. But you have to be careful. You have to put 는 after 날씨. Because 날씨 ends with a vowel.
So it becomes 는 instead of 은. But what's important here is that you put 는 or 은 after what I want to emphasize. So again, if I want to say today everything else sucks, but the weather only is good.
오늘 날씨는 좋네요.
오늘 날씨는 좋네요.
오늘 날씨는 좋네요.
Compare that with 오늘은 날씨 좋네요.
오늘은 날씨 좋네요.
The weather is good today, but not necessarily the other days.
오늘 날씨는 좋네요.
Today the weather is good, but I'm not quite happy about the way the other things went today.
현우 씨, 오늘 목소리는 좋네요.
So what do you mean?
Your
So
voice is good.
my voice is good and not necessarily other things. Or you're probably trying to say that the voice is the only thing I got that's
Yeah,
good.
actually you look so tired and you're
I'm not tired. I'm very
good and-
energetic.
Yeah,
Don't
Frank.
lie. 형은
Game sucks.
오늘
Okay, let's move on.
오늘 화장은 잘했어요.
아, 정말요?
Your makeup only is good.
Okay, thank you.
And
Thank you.
well, the way you're dressed is well, everyone, that's how powerful and useful the topic marking particles can be in changing the nuance of your Korean sentences. And actually the same is true with the subject marking particles. Now let's look at how the subject marking particles can change the nuance of your Korean sentences. It's very similar.
So in addition to marking subjects, 이 and 가 have the nuance of none other than, nothing but.
So everyone, let's go back to E-Tech again, this book.
Okay, you really like books.
So E-Tech, and if I want to say it's good, what do I say in Korean?
좋아요.
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 좋아요 is not so important here, but for the time being, what is it's good again?
좋아요.
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 If I say 이책 좋아요, what do I mean?
This book is good.
But Kyungwon, if you asked me which book is good, which one is good, and I want to say this one is good, this is the subject of the verb to be good, and I want to say this is really good. The other books are not so good, but this is good. What do I say?
이 책이 좋아요.
이 책이 좋아요.
이 책이 좋아요. So, 현우, we've learned 3 different ways to say this book is good. Can you explain the difference between these 3? 이 책 좋아요. 이 책은 좋아요. 이 책이 좋아요.
Okay, let me try.
Okay.
So, 이 책 좋아요 is the simplest way to say this book is good. 이 책 좋아요, the default version.
Okay.
So 이 책 좋아요 is the simplest way. And if I want to say the other books are not good, and I don't care about the other books, or if I want to say at least this book is good, I say 이 책은 좋아요. And even when the other books have no problem, they're just as good. If I say 이 책은 좋아요 by accident, by mistake, other people will think that this book is good and the other books are bad. And if I say 이 책이 좋아요 using the subject marking particle 이, I'm saying that none other than this book is good. Somebody might have asked me which book is good, and I want to say this one is good. This is good. Compared to other books, this is good. So 이 책이 좋아요 is kind of like an answer to the question of 뭐가 좋아요? Which one is good?
Wow, that was good.
감사합니다. So even after looking at all these different sentences, it might still be confusing, but it's best to keep practicing. And we have made the PDF file of this lesson more thorough than the other lessons, more detailed than the other lessons. So whenever you find a confusing part in Korean sentences, you can always look up things in our PDF, and you can always ask us questions in the comment section at talktomeinkorean.com. Exactly.
Yeah, wow, 현우. 설명은 잘해요.
Wow. Did you hear that there? She said,
설명은 잘해요.
you're at least good at explaining things. 설명, 경은.
Yes.
경은, you seem to at least have many friends. 친구는 많은 것 같아요.
친구는 많아요?
I don't know about the other parts about you, but you seem to have many friends, at least.
Alright.
And I would like to give our listeners a tip on kind of teasing Kyungin. And please don't do that to me. Okay? So you can pretend to be complimenting on her voice. For example, if you just want to say in a simple way, 목소리 좋아요. Your voice is good.
Just say 목소리 좋아요.
But if you say 목소리는 좋아요, using that topic marking particle, 목소리는 좋아요, that means Kyungin, your voice is the only thing you got.
Okay, please leave a comment like 현우.
You can't think of any examples.
Okay, why don't you say like 현우 사진은 잘 찍어요.
I'm at least good at taking
Yeah.
photos and not the other things.
사진은 잘 찍어요.
Well, I'll be looking forward to see how many comments will be there saying Kyungin 목소리는 좋아요. Your voice is kind of good at least. I don't know about the other things. I'm worried about your other things, but your voice is good. And everyone, if you ask me, what is Kyungin's strong point? What is good about Kyungin? I would say 목소리가 좋아요.
Yeah, right.
Voice is good. Her voice is good. If you ask me which is her strong point, her voice is. 목소리가 좋아요. So that's how you use 는, 이가, 는, topic marking particles, 이가, subject marking particles. If you have any questions, please feel free, and I am sure you have many questions. Let's practice together. Let's make sample sentences together, and we'll help you by correcting your sentences, and our other teachers will be there, our friends will be there. So let's work together.
Okay, you can tease me as long as it's just for practice.
Okay, I need to practice a lot of
Not
sentences.
you.
Okay, everybody, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed this lesson too. And as always, thank you for your support.
네, 감사합니다.
감사합니다. 안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 가세요.
listening to Talk to Me in Korean. Thank you for studying with Talk to Me in Korean. For more Korean lessons and our textbooks, please visit talktomeinkorean.com.
Alright, we're on the next one now. Listen.
You're listening
well,
to Talk to Me in Korean.
We're not. No, okay, later today, right? Okay, I guess we're done for this session, right? So later today, we are going to come back and go on.